Okay, Islam, Spirit of Noble Ali. Islam, my hair came down, so I'm trying to, like, anyway, Spirit of Noble Ali, Elementals, my celestial tribe, Islam. So, never would I think, this is part two of April the 12th, 2026. Never will I think that because of Whole Foods core values that I would be experiencing um, forms of very extreme is like the same behavior that I experienced at Burger King. Um, and many some a lot of times I just act like I don't hear the people because I know they're either um, that which is listening. Make sure they're not recording because they have if people are speaking over the speaker intercom, which they do, Whole Foods, and I hear a lot of odd stuff. It doesn't that does not sound like um, it should be spoken over the intercom at Whole Foods. But if you are in a community of people that say Mo, like for example, one of the things I just said, one of the I had issues with Burger King saying calling the employees calling me Mo. I was like, my name is not Mo. Okay, why are you calling me Mo? I don't. My name is not Love, because that was another thing at Burger King. The manager starts calling me Love. The employees, my coworkers, was saying Love to the customers. I've never gone anywhere in in a grocery store or mall, any place where I'm shopping, and the cashier say, "Here you are, Love." Never, my hair. Um, never. I have never experienced things like that. Here you are, Mo. I have never experienced that. I only experienced that here in Annapolis. I was my coworkers at Burger King started saying Mo to me. First they were saying to start saying Mo to the customers and saying love. Thank you, love, or man, or just just words that did not have any professionality, no professional energy at all. And then they started directing it towards me because they was doing it to one another. I was like, and I told the manager, especially the male. I mean, I was like, what? I said, do not call me love. Do not call me love. Don't call me baby. They will call me baby, love. I said, don't say that to me because my name is Rhonda. At Burger King, they called me Rhonda. And I wore my name tag almost as much as I could. I would try my best not to not wear it. At Whole Foods, I asked more than once, more than twice, I need a new name tag. I haven't got my name tag with Renee. I go by Renee at Whole Foods. So I was so surprised when I first started hearing it. But then I started to after I asked them not to say it, and they kept saying it. I had a meeting with one of the owners call about them calling me Mo, about the male managers. Unless he claimed nationality, I would describe him as African American, Black Americans. Saying Mo, the manager, which is say African Americans call me stupid. I had meetings and stuff like that all the time. I mean not all the time, but too many times, and it kept happening. But here I was living with Imani at a hotel. I knew I was not going to as a Moor who has the right to defend her constitutional rights, which is of the preamble of the Constitution, to just get up and go because a community cannot sex and human traffic me. I'm not going to do that. So I stayed and I documented and defended my rights to be employed, to um, defend my right to live in liberty and well-being, um, to demonstrate myself as a free, naturalized human being, naturalized celestial being, naturalized more. And I knew, I mean, I did for a few times. I looked for other employment, especially when I could tell when they started to cut my hours. The managers were sending me home. This at Burger King for just really, just mainly ain't just looking for a reason to send me home. Then they started to walk around. Those that spoke Spanish from El Salvador or Spanish speaking, walk around like they were writing notes down about me or looking at me and writing and stuff. And which brought more stress because I've already experienced them cutting my hours. I went through the EEOC because they kept the manager and another lady from El Salvador said I was stinking. They got another one to say I stink. And then even when I would I would walk in there for not even 4 minutes. One time I demonstrated myself to be there for not even 4 to 5 minutes. And I was like, I'm not wearing the Palo Santo, because that was the thing. They were saying that the Palo Santo oil that I had in my hair was stinking. I said, I'll wash my hair. I'm not wearing it no more here, even though I wore it before a few months and months ago, and there was not an issue. I burnt Palo Santo, wore Palo Santo. I had a Palo Santo bracelet. There was never an issue with me with the Palo Santo. But just so happened, in 2022, it became an issue, and I stink. And she was sending me home. So I knew that if I wasn't prepared to move, our finances, I was studying crypto, and I was not prepared financially to move. That's all there is to it. And nonetheless, I shouldn't have to move. This is land that my ancestor bled for. I shouldn't have to move because they can't sex and human traffic me. Others that are stalking my apartment that are in the United States Navy and Army, the unnaturalized United States Navy and Army and other military branches, and the police here in Annapolis, lab freaks, humanoid AI. I should move when I am financially stable and able to move without distress. But that wasn't the issue. So that when they saw that they wasn't able to human and sex traffic me, I noticed that many things would happen in reference to my finances issues. Because the accents in the the hotel was stronger. I was taking a shower, started recording myself taking a shower, started recording Money sleeping because they were attacking him in his sleep. I recording us sleeping at night. And there was I started recording myself walking back and forth, seeing feathers on my path, the Spanish speaking accent, seeing feathers on my path back and forth to Burger King. The Spanish speaking accent males came more. So I knew that it was definitely an attempt to force us to move with us being financially unstable. And also, if we were going to stay here, if we became financially stable, then force us to lay down with one of the lab animals here, the brother or whoever else, whatever other lab animal freak they have here. And or make us leave when if we are financially stable, make us leave. If we choose to stay here, make us lay down with one of the lab freaks, human and sex traffic us, amalgamate us. If financially stable, if we have some form of finance, because then that means that they should be able to lay down with us. That is the message of them for stalking and following us, using different sciences to stalk, invading their dreams, saying we paid, brother paid, attacking my genitals, the STD situation, them talking about Annapolis. This is really at Burger King. This is what a conversation at Burger King about Annapolis having STDs, and then saying we the same, and attacking my genitals. I'm making sure I'm clean, and I'm like, if I have a STD of herpes, I'm gonna cleanse myself, make sure I don't. I don't want to spread that with nobody, but not with these lab freaks. These lab freaks were like, we the same. You know better than us. Bring her down. I was hearing them say that a lot. Bring her down. Bring them down. So what does that say? So deciding to move and use my constitutional rights to move when I'm financially stable took courage. It is my right to want to demonstrate rights to move when I am financially stable and mentally stable. But those that were trying to implement human and sex trafficking wanted me to be mentally diseased, physically diseased. This is where the sharp pains kept occurring and still do. So imagine this. So I was surprised at Whole Foods because of their core values, just like Burger King had their values that demonstrated, like they had care, connect, appreciate, respect everyone. Well, Whole Foods have core values as well and have their own set of rules that they try to stand by, some form of morality. So to have someone that's been there, worked there, applying for a while, to start saying Mo, I was like, demonstrating some of the similar behavior that I experienced at Burger King, I was surprised. I was, and me working at the time, both places, or being employed at both places, Whole Foods and Burger King, and knowing that I'm trying to demonstrate my constitutional rights to maintain employment through my constitutional rights with mental balance, without being human and sex trafficked, was important for me. And still is, and for my son, Imani Bey. I can't tell you how many, at Burger King, so many, so much was happening there. I remember the first time when I felt, when I felt my genitals be molested. One of the first times at Burger King, Phyllis, the manager, I'm not accusing her, she asked me to stay later than usual. And this lady from El Salvador was there. I forgot her name. What was her name? I forgot her name, but she was from El Salvador. I asked her. She told me she was from El Salvador. And Phyllis was standing next to me, and she was wiping down the counter. And all of a sudden, my genitals, and the lady from El Salvador was looking at me. She was in the kitchen, but she was looking through the counter. There's I guess you want to say a window space. And Phyllis was next to me wiping down the side of the counter. And my genitals were being molested, like something was causing a secretion or vagina, fluids to come, and I felt like a massaging of my genitals while she was wiping down the counters. And possibly the lady from El Salvador was doing it too. So it was like wiping down something. And then I felt as though when I really felt violated. I'm not accusing neither one, but I felt violated. And I didn't know why would they do such a thing, that which did it. Especially while I'm at Burger King working. So that was two women standing next to me. I'm not accusing neither one, but that's what happened while they were moving their hands around. This was in 2016. So then I noticed that when my genitals were being attacked in the middle of the night, people were saying, make her get them off. And those that would say that were connected, or she got off, was connected to, or implied to be connected to the military, the United States Navy and Army, or veterans. And these were predominantly black males or blacks. So, let me think of something else that I experienced. Then the words of werewolf, birdman, vampire, things of that nature was coming about. Like, that which was here, that's humanoid AI, was definitely trying to expose me and Imani to a world of violence, a world of harm. Because if you trying to stay secretive, you don't tell no one about your life or that you're set. But when you trying to amalgamate sex traffic, human traffic, and you trying to normalize your presence in their life, then you start to do things like that. And or you start to rape and molest, and because you've done it before, thinking you're going to program that person to accept that way of life. So this is the connection of the black, Negro, male, female, and Spanish speaking, predominantly saying 3, and pale skin, but predominantly the Spanish speaking and black Negro saying stalking the apartment constantly, because they're trying to normalize their presence in our place where we domicile. And the pale skin too does it too, but they sit back, but they all connected, which is those that are doing criminal acts. No, I'm not saying everyone in Annapolis, but I'm telling you, way too many. Too many to say that too many. This is what I'm going to tell you, Spirit of Noble Jolie. I would not ruin my reputation, neither will Imani, by getting to know anyone here in Annapolis. Annapolis is a sex traffic and human trafficking, a sex and human traffic city. It is, with those that have the telepathic code. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. Those that have the telepathic code are in sex traffic, human trafficking heavy. They do it with the kids. They lay down with many types of other lab animals. And this is why the STD situation is like it is, the reputation that it has. So why would I ruin my reputation being and getting to know anyone here? Because I am an upright Moor who is implementing my rights as a free Moor, naturalized Moor, and so is Imani, our divine higher self, to be friends, get to know anyone here. Well, obviously, too many are collaborating to implement a form of criminal activity, crimes against humanity, and other horrendous crimes of rape and molestation, anything that they can get away with, and then normalize it as though they're trying to initiate someone into a witch coven or set. I would never, ever, neither will Imani, get to know any one of these animals personally and ruin my reputation as an upright, free, naturalized, divine, celestial human, a Moor. So, moving forward, so I was surprised. I really was. I experienced pains and like pressure on my genitals to cause me to urinate, like I did at Burger King and still do. Like Burger King, pressure on my genitals would happen and cause me to urinate, especially when I would try to detox. When I was detoxing. Because remember, reminding you that the which is here in Annapolis would say make her go to the hospital, make her see a doctor. But Imani and I, we haven't gone to the hospital but once since 2012. And that was only to get ibuprofen. And here it is, 2016. So if we haven't had to go to the hospital but once, and we are able to maintain employment, we don't have the telepathic code. We reject the telepathic code. We don't need it. But we are mentally stable. We're not criminals. We can maintain employment. We can demonstrate ourselves, and I guess you want to say, be employed at an employer and demonstrate this task efficiently without issues. So imagine this so I'm saying is, at Burger King, I was a cashier. I was demonstrating myself. I can demonstrate and be a good cashier. And I also cleaned the dining room, the toilet stools, mopped. Whatever they asked me to do, except for the kitchen. I didn't do that in the kitchen. Even though I did drop fries and things like that, drive through and stuff like that. So, but for whatever reason, they started to walk around like they were taking notes, which caused stress, and looking at me as they wrote stuff down. Because the last thing I wanted them to do is to fire me when I'm living in a hotel and I have rent to pay. So the same thing is happening now at Whole Foods. I don't know if they're writing notes about me or what, but it's I find it odd because I've seen sometimes those walk around with not saying any names, walk around with a paper or a tablet and look at me like they're writing stuff down, just like Burger King. And at Whole Foods they have cameras, they got the intercom. So I'm pretty sure they're able to watch everything I do. So one of the things I noticed when I was at Burger King, like at night, if some nights when the frequency was loud, Black, Negro, male and female, or Spanish speaking accents in the room, and attacking my genitals, causing sharp pains, that's when I would go into Burger King, and son would be walking around more with a tablet to see if I forgot something, or did I mess up, or I would feel pressure around my head or see visuals of something actually force engaging my body to cause me to forget. And it's like they were writing things down. Now, were they? I don't know, because I never saw what they were writing down. But they look up or look at me as though, or have a tablet in front of them as though they're writing something down. So it seemed like they did it more so, and I could just, it could just be, some would say a coincidence. I don't believe in coincidence, but some would say possibly a coincidence. It would be a lot of times after I was being forced to engage at night, experienced 4 sharp pains, and had little sleep. At Whole Foods, I'm experiencing these same things, as in, like for example, I'm gonna give you example. Last night, something was forced engaged. It's not the first time I've heard people say put a machine on her. So some type of humanoid AI is able to force engage the body sheet and cause the inside of my body to jump like this while I'm laying down. And then I've had something feel like it's taking some type of energy from me. I experienced this also with that sound like, now I'm not accusing her, but the lady, the best description is the same lady that addressed me as Mo, that I think might be from Japan, I'm not sure, but it was similar to her accent and her daughter's accent. Still hear that accent today. I'm not accusing them. That's the best. It's just like me hearing at Burger King. There was this lady named a lady named Dora. I'm not accusing Dora, but people were saying Dora in my hotel room. The Dora was from El Salvador. So I'm like, why would Dora even have anything to do with being around in my hotel room? I even experienced a visual that looked like her force engaging. I don't know her personally, engaging me in my sleep more than once, more than twice. She was one of the ladies that also said I stink. And that the reason why I called the EEOC, because the manager was sending me home. So the same thing is here. Hearing accents that sound like the Japanese lady and her daughter similar, and also seeing a visual of them or something attacking me, taking energy. And I've heard the accents say that the Japanese lady or the Jap nigga is like feeding off children or babies, taking energy from babies, taking energy from humans. So, or that which is some type of AI machine force engaging, causing me to shake while I'm sleeping. So I can feel my body and my organs moving. Okay, while not sleeping or even up. Even when I'm on break at Whole Foods, I experience this. I just sit down, and all of a sudden, something would be forced engaging because my insides would just start shaking really fast. And I've heard people say in the past they're gonna kill her. They're gonna kill her son, or she's tight, or they tight, or he's tight. They're gonna rape her, as though they're trying to encourage rape and molestation as a ritual. So they want it to happen. Okay, they want it to happen. They're not afraid it's going to happen. They want it to happen. Okay. So this frequency. So last night I experienced this, and I had 4 sharp pains in my knee, like I had before my feet as I left Whole Foods yesterday. And then when I came in today, there are 3 new guys. One looked to be from China. I don't know where he's from. Never asked him. The other one from but the other 2 from South Central America. Look to be. They're new. So one of the guys were there. I came in at 7:30. He had to have come in, I think, at 6:30 because he was there before me. And usually the shift starts at 6:30, the first shift. And some of the things weren't done, but he's new. So I guess that would be the excuse. But I was under the impression that he knew what he was doing, so I don't know. I truly don't know. I really don't know. I feel sharp pains, and like many times simultaneously as I feel sharp pains, someone might say stop, as though they're trying to perform some type of ritual protection or something, or hear a frequency, or I have experienced visual, because there is a way, obviously, that United States military can send visuals that look like people to force engage, look similar. That's why I say similar. I'm not accusing the Japanese lady if she's from Japan, or these are the accents I've heard similar. There's a lady I work with named Eve. I've heard that accent. It looks similar, sounds similar to her. Not accusing her. Natue and Serena sound similar to them. Natue and Serena are the 2 that I think is from Japan, but I'm not sure. Kevin was a team leader. Sounds similar. Not accusing him. He's a new team leader. I think he said he's from Mexico, but he looks like he's from El Salvador. In fact, a visual would constantly, when he is now on leave. I was told he's on leave for some personal reasons. Not just me, but others. The team was told at Whole Foods he's on personal leave. He's new compared to the other team leader or assistant team leader. And but before he went on leave, I would see a visual that looked similar to him, like literally attacking my genitals. And the frequency in the apartment was like, we're going to do the same thing to your son. Like literally, even when I was at Whole Foods, I would see a visual of him look similar to him attacking. Like I feel cold space, like some type of pressure here, right here in my frontal lobe. And my genitals will be being attacked while I'm trying to perform my duties at Whole Foods. So if I'm being attacked at Whole Foods or before I come to Whole Foods, it can be a challenge for me to maintain or demonstrate that I am adequate for the position that I hold at Whole Foods, at Prepared Foods. And that was the situation or a concern that I was having at Burger King. They were constantly trying to demonstrate, it seemed like the manager, that I was not adequate to be a cashier. Smart enough. She called me stupid more than once. She even called me a stupid bitch, like I wasn't adequate. Like I didn't have, she said I didn't have common sense. To emphasize I didn't have common sense. So in that, it made me think about some of my childhood issues. So one of the things I realized, I didn't know that the military can go back, AI, and see what type of childhood issues you might have had with your parents, and demonstrate that in the workplace by in different ways. I didn't think that they could do that. But what made me think that it could be possibly done, not saying that this was being done with my manager at Burger King, was when she kept calling me stupid because I had issues with my childhood issues from my father saying things that made me feel inadequate, not intelligent, and saying I didn't have common sense. And so if I'm being attacked while I'm trying to perform my duties at Burger King, before I come to Burger King, mentally and physically, and then having the manager literally degrade me, not just in front of her, but in front of the employees, and in front of the customers, and then people saying, bring her down. It sounds like possibly it could be conceived that someone is trying to punish me for not wanting to lay down. Not saying this is why she was doing it, but it was very abusive. I told her, I saw her so many times, I never talked to you this way. Why would you call me names? I never call you a name. Why would you call me names like this? That they were trying to bring me down, punish me because I wasn't able to lay down. I would not lay down with lab animals. STD lab animals, humanoid AI. Other forms of lab freaks that Annapolis have created and have sent out in different states, cities, towns, to spread STDs, make people sick, whatever, breed. So when I came in today, some of the things weren't done, but that's, I just kept going. I stayed quiet today because I was conserving my energy, because I was experiencing 4 sharp pains last night, like I have many nights before I go into Whole Foods, and still having to walk. My feet hurt because I'm being attacked because something is following me that's connected to the United States Navy and Army, that's unnaturalized, the police, Black, Negro, male and female, and Spanish, some type of Spanish-speaking weapon from Mexico that they have used many times, many of them, many times, many places on this landmass, many of the illegal immigrants to make people sick. But now, because people have the telepathic code, they're trying to normalize it and remove history about what they use these immigrant animals to do for over 60, 70 years. So, but yet I'm demonstrating and maintaining and implementing my rights as a naturalized, free, celestial human being. More, I'm implementing my rights, my constitutional rights, that which includes the preamble, the 13th Amendment with 20 sections. So when I came in, the guy that looked to be from China was there. And it's odd because many people who, once again, they nod in their heads and like they're from China, pale skin, black, and that look from China, not in their heads, or look from Asia. I've even heard the frequency say China, saying Annapolis, they keep bragging some type of frequency around, saying we in Annapolis, we're going to be so rich, while I'm experiencing these attacks with crypto. And they're not worried about anything because China got their back. So, and then we became a little busy. Then we became really, I went ahead and went on my 10-minute break because I was experiencing like I have to bypass, because that which is unnatural, AI, force engage my bladder, or just could be an average citizen that is able to use different forms of the science. Sometimes they have a cell phone and they are sending some type of code that send that which is AI or some type of lab for it to force engage the machine or whatever, to force engage to cause my bladder. Maybe they probably can see when my bladder is full, the Navy, the Army, abusing their science, the technology, to see inside a human, and then press down on my bladder, which causes me to have to urinate. And if I don't have a pad, how am I able to maintain employment with smelling like pee? So I keep pads on, so I can change my pad and stay clean. Keep implementing my natural right, my constitutional right, to maintain employment, financial balance. Okay, so then the other two new employees came. These are they look to be from South Central America and Mexico. And once things just got chaotic. So I'm the only one there that's been there for a year. Okay, this is today, April the 12th, 2016. We're busy, and it just got really, really chaotic. Like, I don't know. I know they're new, but one of the guys seemed like actually both of them signed. One guy maybe not as much experience. I don't know if, all I could do is see I don't know. I've dealt with people that seem to be acting like they don't know anything, and then they do. You hear me? And this is dealing with Burger King and so forth. But it got chaotic. The prepared foods. This is Sunday, so busy. Sundays are usually busy. Food was all over the place. Seemed like in a chef case. I went on my break. I came back. It was worse. I went to go get 2 things of green beans because we have a family meal that we give out. 2 containers of fish tub of green beans. Before I left, I come back. They brought another container of green beans, and then the green bean top was off with the stuff, the utensils inside the green beans. Some food on top of the green beans fell inside the green beans. They weren't trying to keep it closed. Food was left out. I leave food out too sometimes, or meat out. So I come back, go through, see if I left anything out. Or sometimes as a team, you get it out for the next team member. But I came back, food out everywhere, food out. Nobody tried to clean. In a chef case, it was just chaotic. And so, and then here we are. And then customers in line. Some of them look like they're from that used to come into Burger King, military or whatever. So it was just. It was not the best day. And one of the new guys a few days ago, he that night I closed with him, and he was just like, just like other times. Once again, he looked to be from South Central America or Mexico. He definitely speaks Spanish fluently. I heard him speak Spanish. But he just too like, I'm trying to. We have a lot to do when we close, or just being there, period, and prepare foods. And he's trying to have conversations. Literally have conversation. I'm like, he even asked me. He said, "Do you believe in God?" I'm like, "What is it?" I told him, I said, I don't like to have conversations like this here. When I first met him, he was like, I looked at him, I said, "Do I know you? I seen you around Annapolis." He said, "Yeah, did you used to work at Burger King?" I said, "Yes, but I don't want to talk about Burger King. I just want to talk, I'm here for Whole Foods," like that. And but he just seemed really just trying to have conversation, engage. And the other night, that night, after I was telling him I don't really want to have conversations. We got a lot to do. To sit around and talk is not the thing to do when you have to close, when you have to open, period. I don't see how, sometimes we have time, like for instance, I might have time to have a short conversation. But these are usually with someone after we are ahead a little bit, very short conversation. But not when you have things to do. But he seemed to demonstrate himself like he knew what he was doing. I asked him, so I shut down. What happened? So I shut down the beef slicer. He shut down the cheese slicer. Or in the turkey slicer. I forgot how it went. But nonetheless, I supposed to shut down the pork slicer. I told him, because it was about 8:30, 8:35, I said, "Let me go on my last 10 minutes. I'll come back, I'll do the pork slicer. And then the store will be closed at 9. And I asked him that. I told him that because, he's new. I would think, this is the day, this is the night that he was, trying to have a conversation, asking me about God. And I didn't even take a full 10 minutes because I think it was about close to 10 minutes. I'm not going to say, I think it was approximately close to 10 minutes. I felt I did what I needed to do. I came back. I said, because he started to shut down the slicer before I left. I said, "No, let me do it because you get to, I get to, just tell him I'll do it." He went ahead and did it. He's new. So he just disregarded what I told him. I've been there. He disregarded. He literally started to shut down the slicer. He was cleaning inside the chef case. So he was demonstrating himself as though he knew what he was doing, or someone trained him, or he had some type of training before. So today, to see what I was seeing, I was surprised. It was like chaos. There was no one there but me and the 3 new guys. And then last night, having to deal what I did deal with, like many nights, being attacked for sharp pains. The machine is like whatever is AI is inside, causing my internal organs and so forth. That same night, a few nights ago, with that same guy, he told me that his father, out of the blue, I don't know why he did this. He just came out and said, "My dad worked for the CIA. That's why I have good work ethics." I said, "Your dad what?" He said, "Work for the CIA." I said, "CIA." I said, "Well, why would you?" I said, "Okay, Central Intelligence Agency." And he smiled. He like this. I like, I said, "Who is this? What is the CIA? What do they do for me?" I was already irritated after that. After that, I said, something's up with this. I already went through situations with Burger King before he even was hired. I knew I'd seen him before. I think I've seen him other places. He implied Burger King because he was like, "Did you work for Burger King?" So, and dealing with the United States military and so forth, and so much in the police here, birds, feathers, and so forth on my path, and whatever else, other lab freak, whatever other implication of human sex trafficking, it just irritated me. Then he said CIA. I was like, why? I did not ask him anything about himself like that. Nothing personal. I didn't say anything, but he volunteered this information out of the blue, had nothing to do with us closing. He said, that's why I have good work ethics. I remember I used to say that about myself, good work ethics, in reference to Burger King. Then, another situation that caused, I remember when I would like going through the EEOC with Burger King and dealing with the stuff that I was dealing with, the managers, them behaving very odd, yelling, cursing, calling me names. People were implying, saying that frequency or access in the apartment, in the hotel room